hall, right? This is your basically your hall over here, right? Okay, something like this the hall will look, isn't it? Okay, so this is the length over here, and this is the breadth over here, this is b, and this is h, right? Height. So the maximum distance any 2 points, let's say p and q, so I am saying diagonal from this particular point, let's say I'm writing it in green, from this point to this particular point over here, pq, right? This is p, this is q, right? Okay, so if pq is diagonal, pq value they have given 14, right? Okay, and what is pq? pq is simply your diagonal, which is l square plus b square plus h square, right? Okay, so l square plus b square plus h square they have given as 14, right? If they have given as 14, so we can say l square plus b square plus h square, we can square, we are squaring on both sides, right? So how much it is? We are having 196 over here, right? And the area of the floor they have given 6 root 5, which means l square, right? They have given the area of the floor, right? Or the maximum distance between the 2 points on the floor, not area of the floor, right? Maximum distance between any 2 points, between 2 points, let's say p and r on the floor, right? Let's say call this one as r. Okay, so this is the diagonal of the floor, right? So which means this is l square plus b square, root under is 6 root 5, or otherwise l square plus b square, this is 36, 6 square is 36, 36 into 5 is 180, right? Okay, now can we compare these two equation over here? This is l square plus b square plus h square is equal to 96, and over here l square plus b square is 180. So obviously h square is equal to how much? 16, which means h is equal to root under 16, which is 4, right? So the answer to question number 61 will be 4 meter, right? Okay, now we know the height value h is equal to 4, right? Okay, now can we apply this observation in the next question, question number 62 over here, right? If alpha, okay, if alpha is the angle between the line joining PQ and the line joining PR, okay, let's just imagine that in 3D, let's just imagine this particular stuff in 3D, right? Okay, so we are drawing PQR all over again, right? Okay, if you are drawing PQR, this is R, right? And over here it is a 90 degree, this is Q, this is P, right? Isn't it? Right. So now they are asking what is cos alpha. The line joining alpha is the angle between the line joining PQ and the line joining PR, right? Okay, so cos alpha, cos theta is what? Adjacent by hypotenuse, right? Adjacent by hypotenuse. So what is the value of PR, right? PR is this particular value 6 root 5, right? PR is 6 root 5 divided by PQ. What is the value of PQ? They have also given the value of PQ over here, which is 14, right? So 6 root 5 divided by 14 is what we have. This is 3 and this is 7. 3 root 5 by 7. Option B will be the correct answer for this particular question over here, folks. Right? Okay. Now the next question that is coming, it is a very interesting question. Okay. Right. The way I am going to solve this question, kindly look how exactly I am solving this particular question, right? Because this is a very interesting question. Okay, right? So this particular question, the side of an open box are 0.5 centimeter, right? Okay, the sides of an open box, right? How do you draw an open box? Okay, right? How will you draw an open box? So something like this, the open box will look, right? Okay, in 3D you are only looking the cross section, one of the cross sections, right? Okay, let's say you are looking from this particular angle, right? Okay, you are looking from front, right? Okay, So imagine this open box. How will that open box will be, right? How exactly this open box is going to be? There will be a base, right? There will be a base for sure, right? The base will look something like this, right? And the base will be a solid base, right? The base is going to be a solid one. So we'll delete this one and we delete this one, right? Okay, right. So this is your base, right? And on this particular base you are going to have, right, you are going to have the uh, boundaries. Okay, so it will look something like this, right? Now this is an open one, right? So you see it is very difficult to draw this stuff. It's not just easy to draw the stuff, okay? And we know the upper part is open, okay? The shear, what question they have asked, they are saying the side of the open boxes are 0.5 centimeter thick, right? The sides are 0.5 centimeter thick, bottom is 1 centimeter thick, right? Internal length, right? Internal length, breadth and depth, okay? So internal length, breadth and depth, okay, right, is 14 into 10 into 8, okay? Guys, just hold on and watch it, okay? Just imagine it in your mind, okay? Because drawing that in 3D is not an easy task, okay? Maybe we'll have to call an architect over here, right? Okay, so that's the problem, right? So you have to imagine this over here, that you are having a box, right? The bottom is thick and also the four walls are also thick, right? And it's an open and an empty box over here, right? Okay, so they have given the dimension, the internal dimension 14, 10 and 8 over here, right? 14, 10 and 8 over here, right? It is completely filled with water, okay? So the first question that they are asking, if the material weight is 2000 kg per cubic meter, right? Okay, 2000 kg per cubic meter, then what is the weight of the material used in the construction box? Basically, in construction of the box, basically they are asking what is the volume of this box, okay? There is internal dimension, outer dimension, right? Sides are this and that, okay, right? Okay, now let's read this question and let's come to this question as well, okay, right? Let's read this question as well. If water weigh 1000 kg per cubic meter, then what is the weight of the water, okay? Now one thing is sure, that water will be filled in the internal dimension only. It does not have to worry about the outer dimension, right? So water weight is how much, okay? Water weight is how much, right? Water dimension will be how much? 0.14 centimeter into 0.1 into 0.08, right? Okay, I'm writing that in meter, right? Okay, I'm writing all of this in meter, right? Isn't it, right? So this will be the volume, isn't it? Okay, this particular stuff is going to be the volume of the water that is there in it, right? Okay, if water weight is, if water weighs 1000 kg per cubic meters, okay, right? So now this particular number, what is this particular number? 112, right? 1 2 3 4 5, okay, 1 2 3 4 5, okay? So this is meter cube. This much volume of water will be there, isn't it? If this much volume of water is there, now they have given 1000 kg per cubic meter, okay? So if they have given 1000 kg per cubic meter over here, let's just write down, okay? So what does it mean? Should we multiply this particular number, which is 0.00112 into 1000 simply, right? We can do that into 1000 divided by 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, right? This 3 over here gone with this 3, so what you are left over here is 1.12 kg of water is there in that box. Okay, right? Okay, 1.12 kg of water is there in that box. Now if you know the water weight is 1.12 kg, right? Listen to me carefully. If you know the weight of the water in that box is 1.12 kg, or otherwise 1120 grams, okay, right? Now what does this particular value gives? If the weight of the material is 2000 kg per cubic meter, then what is the weight of the material used in the construction box? Okay, right? So what will be the weight of the material, right? Okay, weight of the material will be one of these four options, isn't it? Okay, then what is the weight of the box with water, it is saying, right? Isn't it? So if we add each of these value, 360 I am adding, okay, so 0841, okay, this particular value, right, this particular value was supposed to be one of the four values here, 1 2 3 4 A B C D, isn't it? This particular value was supposed to be one of these four values, A B C D, yes or no? Okay, but you see that we don't have such an option, right? 1480, right? So which means for this 360 is not the answer, that is for sure given. Okay, now 1120 plus 365, how much is that? 5820. Okay, unfortunately we don't have this option as well over here, 2085, that means 2 kilo and 85 grams is also not there in your option over here, folks, which means this is also not your answer. Okay, now what we'll be doing, we'll be picking up the third option. The third option is 720 048. Okay, so 1840, that means 1 kg and 850 grams. We see none of ABCD has this answer, which means 720 is also not your answer, right? Okay, now finally you have over here 730. If you add 730, 0, 5, 8 and 1, okay, do you have that much? 1 kilo and 850 grams. Is that there? Is that there, folks? Yes, it is there, right? Okay, so which means over here A is your answer and over here D is your answer. Okay, right, isn't it? Because you know the volume of the water was how much? 1 kg or 1120 gram. It was easy for us to find out. Okay, if you by any chance went on to find out the standalone in volume of this particular stuff, okay, it was simply harakiri, guys. Okay, it was simply harakiri, right? Okay, you can try doing that. Okay, right, I'm sure you will take more than 2 hours to do that. Okay, right, because that's how it is. Okay, you have to imagine that in 3D, and even then you are able to solve it correctly. It is highly likely that you will be doing some silly mistake here and there for sure, right? Okay, so that is how smartly we are going to solve question number 63 and 64 together in tandem. Okay, right? So kindly look at this question all over again, just in case you have missed it or something, right? Okay, consider the following for the next two items that follow, right? For the next two items, which is your 65 and 66. Okay, ABC is a triangle right angled at A. Okay, right? So ABC is a triangle right angled at A, right? Okay, so this is your triangle right angle at A. ABC is a triangle right angle at A. AB is equal to 8, they are saying, right? And BC is equal to 10, they are saying. Okay, then obviously what will be the value of AC, right? 6, 8, 10, right? 6, 8, 10, that's how the value of AC is going to look like. Pythagoras theorem, right? Easy one, Pythagoras theorem. So this particular value is 6, this particular value is 8, and this particular value is 10. Okay, so 6, 8, 10 is the value over here. D is the point on BC such that AD is perpendicular to BC. Okay, so D is a point over here, right, which is perpendicular to BC, right? Or otherwise, let's write it down, AD perpendicular to BC. Okay, AD is perpendicular to BC. Now what is AD equal to is what they are asking. Okay, Simple question, classical question. I've been teaching you thousands of time. I have taught you, right? In class, out class, here and there, right? I've always been teaching you, right? AD means over here you have three triangles. This particular triangle, let me write that in green. Okay, this particular triangle, and then this particular triangle, and the whole triangle ABC, right? Okay, the each of these three triangles are similar. Let's say I'm taking this small triangle ACD and the bigger triangle. I'm saying that these two are similar. Okay, so let's say I'm saying CDA is similar to triangle CAB. Okay, right? You have to write this properly. Okay, you have to write this properly in tandem. Okay, as per the given values you have to write. Okay, C is the common angle, so C common angle I have written. At A it is 90 degree, and at the smaller triangle at D it is 90 degree. Then the last angle is A, and over here in the bigger triangle the last angle is B. Okay, so now what this mean? CD by these two, CD by CA is equal to now these two. Okay, DA by AB is equal to now these two. Okay, CA by CB. Okay, right? So what is the value of CD over here? Right, we don't know, just write down CD value, we don't know. Okay, but CA value we know is 6. DA value is how much? We don't know. This is what we have to find, DA or AD. Okay, AB value is 8. Okay, what is the value of CA or AC? Which is 6. What is the value of CB? CB is 10. Okay, this is what we have to find out. AD value is what we have to find out. Okay, so from here we can say AD is equal to 48 by 10, or otherwise 4.8. I'm simply writing over here, right? Okay, 65 over here. A is your correct answer, folks. Okay, now now we know AD value as 4.8. Then what is the ratio of the area of triangle ADC, right, to the ADB, right? What is the ratio of this green zone, right, and ADC, right? And what is the ratio of the area of this red zone is what they are asking, right? Okay, right? Area of triangle ADC to the area of triangle ADB, right? So what is the area of triangle ADC over here, right? Area of triangle ADC is half into base, right? Base is how much? CD into height is how much? AD, right? Divided by, for this triangle, for triangle ADB, the area of triangle is how much? Half into base is how much? BD, and height is again AD, right? AD, half and half. All of this goes on to a toss. What you are left with is CD and BD, right? Okay, you need to find out the value of CD and BD. Okay, now from here, if we consider these two equations only, can we find out the value of CD, right? So CD value will be 6 into 6, okay, 36 by 10, which is 3.6 over here, right? Okay, so if CD value is 3.6, let's write down CD value is 3.6, and consequently BD value will be how much? 10 minus 3.6. Okay, 10 minus 3.6 is how much? Okay, BD value will be 10 minus 3.6, right? 10 minus 3.6 is how much? 6.4, folks, right? Okay, 6.4 over here, right? Okay, which means 36 by 64, right? Okay, 18 and 32, this is 9 and this is 16. Okay, 9 is to 16. B over here is the correct answer, folks. Okay, I hope you guys are getting it. If you are not getting it, kindly write down in the chat if you are getting it or if you are not getting it. Okay, this was like very easy sitter questions. Okay, right? Now let's look at this one. Consider the following for the next two items that follow. The annual rainfall at a place is 40 centimeter. Okay, annual rainfall that they have given to you is 40 centimeter. Okay, right? Annual rainfall at a place is 40 centimeter, right? Okay, annual rainfall at a place is 40 centimeter. The weight of the water is 1 metric ton per cubic meter. Okay, what do you mean by 1 metric ton? 1 metric ton means, okay, 1000 kg. Okay, 1 metric ton. Okay, 1 metric ton is equal to 1000 kg. Okay, right? The weight of the water is 1 metric ton, which is 1000 kg, right? Okay, over here I have written gram, for example, sorry. Okay, 1000 kg, 1 metric ton per cubic meter, right? Per cubic meter is what you have, right? Okay, now they are asking what is the volume of the rainfall in cubic meter per hectare is what they are asking, right? Okay, what is the volume of rainfall in cubic meter per hectare? Okay, what is the definition of volume? Volume is equal to area into height. Okay, area into height, right? Okay, right, area into height. Now they are saying per hectare. Per hectare means, right, 1 hectare is what they are asking. And what do we know? 1 hectare, okay, 1 hectare is 10,000 meter square. Guys, keep this one in your mind. They have asked hectare related questions multiple times in your CDS examination, folks. Okay, right? So 1 hectare is equal to 10,000 meter square. So let's just write down 10,000. Okay, now over here what is height? Okay, height is this, the annual rainfall of a place is 40 centimeter, right? You must have heard that rainfall is measured in terms of the height. Okay, right? So now we are dealing with meter over here, and this is centimeter. So you change this 40 centimeter into meter. Okay, if we change this 40 centimeter into meter, it will be 0.4, right? Or otherwise this is your 4000, right, meter cube. What they are asking, what is the volume of the rainfall in cubic meter per hectare, right? What is the volume over here? Volume is 4000 meter cube. Okay, 4000 cubic meter. This much of rainfall has happened in one given hectare, right? Okay, now we know from the previous question, this is the same question, right? Okay, right, I mean from the same set of question, we know from the previous question volume is equal to 4000 meter cube. Okay, so what is the weight of water in metric ton? Okay, what is the weight of water in metric ton, right? They are asking what is the weight of water in metric ton. Okay, they have also given, let's go back over here, right? Okay, they have given over here the weight of the water is 1 metric ton per cubic meter. Okay, the weight of the water is how much? 1 metric ton per cubic meter is what they are asking. Okay, right, 1 metric ton, 1 metric ton per cubic meter. Okay, right, 1 metric ton per cubic meter is what they are saying, right? Okay, so now your volume is 4000 meter cube, 4000 cubic meter or 4000 meter cube, right? So what is their weight? Okay, is their weight is also 4000, right, metric ton. Okay, metric ton, right? They are asking what is the weight of the water in metric ton, right? So for this also the answer will be 4000 over here, right? You need to understand, you need to learn, you need to keep that in mind always and every time, one of these stuffs, right? Okay, 1 hectare, okay, 1 hectare is equal to 10,000 meter square. Hectare is the measurement of your area, folks. Okay, hectare is the measurement of area, right? Now consider the following for the next two items that follow, right? The angle at the vertex of a conical body is 120 degree, right? Okay, the angle at the vertex, the angle at the vertex of a conical body is 120 degree, right? Okay, so let's just draw a conical body. How does a conical body look? Okay, a conical body looks something like this, right? Basically a cone, right? Isn't it, right? And now they are saying the angle at the vertex. What is the vertex? This is vertex. Okay, this vertex is 120 degree, right? Okay, what is the ratio of the radius of the conical body to its slant height is what they are asking, right? What is the ratio of the radius of the conical body to the slant height? So for this cone you will have a height, you must have learnt and heard about this. Okay, and then you will have a radius as well, right? Okay, right, so you have something like this. Can you draw a triangle, right? I'm now redrawing this particular stuff all over again over here, let's say I'm drawing it over here, right? So this is your O, this is your B, and this is your A, right? Okay. First thing first, if this is a conical body over here, the conical body over here, right? Okay. If this angle, if this particular angle over here is 120 degree at the vertex, right? If you draw a perpendicular, it will also bisect the given angle, right? So what does it mean? That this particular angle now will be 60, and now AO is perpendicular to OB, right? If AO is perpendicular to OB, this angle will be 90, and automatically this angle will be 30, right? Okay. Now you know the relationship. If the three angles are 30, 60, 90, if the angle opposite to 30, if the side opposite to 30, let's say is x, the side opposite to 90 degree will be how much? 2x, and the side opposite to 60 degree will be how much? Okay, the side opposite to 60 degree will be how much? Root 3x, right? I've taught you the relationship between 30, 60, 90. Okay, if it is x, this is root 3x, and this is 2x. Okay, you guys have to keep that in mind for easy and faster calculation. You know what is the radius over here? OB is the radius, so root 3x is the radius. And slant height, they are saying, what is slant height? AB is the slant height, which means 2x. This one gone, this one gone. Root 3 is to 2 over here, 69. C will be the answer to this particular question, folks. Right? Okay. Now they are saying if the sum of the slant height and the radius is given as 9 plus 3 root 3. This is 9 plus 3 root 3. Okay. That what they are saying, if the sum of the slant height and the radius is, right? Okay. If the sum of, right, if the sum of slant height, right, which means 2x plus height, which is x, plus root 3x, which is radius, is given as 9 plus 3 root 3, right? Is that what they are saying, right? If this is that what they are saying, now I can do 2x plus x as what? 2x plus x as we can simply write 3x, right? Now from here I can take x common, and I can also take root 3 common as well, right? Okay, so what will this give you? This will give you root 3 plus 1, which is equal to 3 root 3 if I am taking common over here. Now this particular value again will give you how much? Okay, this particular value will give you root 3 plus 1 over here. That means this one gone, this one gone. So what you are left with, I am now deleting this one. Okay, right? So now which means x root 3 is equal to 3 root 3, right? Now over here you can simply get done with 3 root 3 as well. Okay, so what is the value of x over here? The value of x is 3. Then what is the volume of the cone? What is the volume of the cone? Volume of the cone is 1 by 3 pi into r square, right? Okay, 1 by 3 pi into r square. What is r? Root 3x. Okay, which means 3 root 3 whole square into h, right? What is the value of h? H is 3 over here, folks, right? So now let's just calculate this. This 3 and this 3 will go, right? So I'm just simply deleting it, right? Now you are left with 3 root 3 whole square, right? Okay, 3 root 3 whole square means what? Okay, 3 root 3 whole square is simply 27 pi over here. So 27 pi, right, cubic centimeter will be the answer to this question, folks, right? Easy. They could not ask you any more easier question than this. Okay, there is no easier question than this, folks. Okay, right? So let's move on to this one. Okay, a person sells, okay, a person sells an article X for 34,500 rupees. Okay, a person sells an article X for 34,500 and makes a profit of 15%, right? Okay, if let's say sells an article, right, for, I'm saying capital X is the selling price, okay, right? If he makes the profit of 15%, right, so which means the cost price will be how much? 34500 divided by 1.15. How exactly we have got this? How exactly we have got this? I'm assuming the cost price is x plus x of 15%, right, is equal to 34500, right, which will give you 1.15 x is equal to 34500, which means x is equal to 34500 divided by 1.15, right? Okay, 1.15. So the same old stuff I have written this one over here directly. Okay, if I'm writing it directly over here, and now if you solve for x, right, what the value of x you will be getting? Okay, the value of x over here will be how much? 30,000. Okay, what does it mean? A small x. Okay, I'm saying capital X and capital Y are your selling price. Okay, small x and small y are your cost price, is what I'm assuming over here, folks, right? Okay, so the for x, right, for capital X, right, the cost price was 30, then only you will make 15% profit, no, right? 15% of 30,000 is how much? 4,500. If you add 4,500, you will get this particular number, right? Okay, right? So now let's focus on y over here, right? Let's say he sells the article y at a loss of 10%, right? Okay, if he sells the article y at the loss of 10%, right, I'm saying the selling price of y is capital Y. Okay, if 10% loss means, I've taught you the concept of multiplying factor. 10% loss means the multiplying factor is 0.9. Okay, so 0 small y, right, 0.9 is equal to small y, which means small y is equal to capital Y divided by 0.9. Okay, now let's keep this observation aside. Okay, now he is saying he neither suffered loss or nor gain in the whole transaction because of these two transactions. What is the selling price of x? Okay, so what does it mean? Small x plus a small y, which means the cost price of x and the cost price of y is equal to the selling price of x plus the selling price of y. Is that what we have been assuming so far, right? Small x value is how much? We have calculated over here, right? 30,000, 1, 2, 3 plus y. Okay, capital X is equal to how much? 34,500 plus capital Y. Okay, plus capital Y over here, right? Isn't it? So now what they are asking, what is the selling price of capital Y? Okay, so they are asking basically what is the value of capital Y. Capital Y is equal to what they are asking over here, right? Okay, so now if we solve for this, you got this equation over here, right? So small y 30,000 plus small y is equal to how much? Small y is equal to how much? Capital Y divided by 0.9, or otherwise we can write it how much? 10y by 9 we can write. Okay, right, is equal to 34,500 plus y we can write. Okay, now if you take all the y on the left hand side, okay, if you take all the y on the left hand side, how much it will be, right? It will be y by 9. Okay, capital Y by 9, and now 34,500 minus 30,000 is 4,500, right? Okay, so what is the value of capital Y over here, folks, right? What is the value of capital Y? Okay, the value of capital Y will be 4,500, like 4,500 into 9, which will give you 40,500, right? Isn't it? If you want to calculate the value of y, you have to do cross multiplication, right? Isn't it? So you get option B as the correct answer for this particular question, folks, right? Okay, you can do this question fast if your calculation is fast. Okay, right? So your calculation needs to be fast, right? Now let's move on to the next question. Question number 72 over here says 100 quintal is what percent of 10 metric tons? Okay, 100 quintal is, right, 100 quintal is what? Okay, 100 quintal is what percent of 10 metric tons? Okay, over here you were just supposed to know what exactly do you mean by quintals. Okay, right? Okay, so simply 1 quintal means 100 kg, folks, right? 1 quintal means 100 kg, which means 100 quintal means 10000 kg, right, which means 10,000 kg, right? Okay, which means this particular value means 10,000 kg, right? Okay, 10,000 kg, right? Isn't it? Remember this one: quintal, hectare, metric ton, tons, and all that. These are like repeated ones. Okay, 1 metric ton. Okay, 1 metric ton is given as 1000 kg, right? So 10 metric ton is given as how much? 10,000 kg, right? Now they are asking 10,000 kg is how much percent of 10,000 kg? Okay, 10,000 kg is how much percent of 10,000 kg, right? 5 is how much percent of y? Okay, simply 100% over here is the answer to this particular question, folks. Right? Easy? Easy, right? Had you known what is the value of quintal and metric tons, it would have been easy for sure. Okay, so I'm not quite sure whether you known this value or not. Okay, a circle is inscribed in an equilateral triangle, right? Classical question: circle being inscribed in an equilateral triangle, the radius of the circle is 2 centimeter. What is the area of the triangle? Okay, right? A circle is inscribed in an equilateral triangle, so you have over here an equilateral triangle, right? Okay, and a circle is inscribed in this equilateral triangle, right? Isn't it? Okay, if a circle is inscribed over here and they are saying the radius of the circle is 2, right? Isn't it? For an equilateral triangle, we know if you draw a line from the vertex to the opposite side, the same line is your median, angle bisector, perpendicular bisector, altitude, everything, right? And median, right? The centroid O over here divides the median in the ratio of 2:1. Okay, so if it is A, if it is O, and if it is B, right? AO is to OB is how much? 2:1, right? OB value they have given how much? 2. Then obviously AO value will be how much? 4, right? Isn't it? So what does it mean? It means AB value is how much? 6, right? This value is clear. AB value is 6, right? Now if we have the value AB, can we draw a triangle over here, right? If we draw a triangle over here, right? Okay, if this value is 6, this value is how much? This value is 60 degree, right? If this value is 60 degree, right? Now they are asking what is the area of the triangle is what they are asking, right? Okay, what is the area of the triangle? So we know what is the value of this particular stuff AB, right? AB is your height and altitude as well, which is 6, right? AB is the height is 6, right? And then now we want to find out this particular value. Let's say AB, dB is what we have to find out. Okay, which means this particular base dB is what we have to find out. Okay, so can you apply over here something called tan 60, right? Tan 60 is equal to opposite by dB, which means dB is equal to 6 root 3, right? Okay, then the dB value is 6 root 3, and now the area of triangle is how much? Half into base will be how much? Double of this particular value, half into base into height. Okay, how much is the value of height? Height value is 6. Okay, this one gone, 6, right? Okay, right? So now over here you have 6 into 6, so I can write 6 into 3 into 2 divided by root 3. Now this one gone, I can say how much? 12 root 3, right? 12 root 3 over here is the answer to this particular question, folks, right? All right, now question number 74 is a very interesting question over here, right? Question number 74 is an interesting question. The side of a triangle are K, 1.5K and 2.25K. What is the sum of the squares of its median? Okay, what is the sum of the squares of its median, right? Okay, so now you have a triangle over here, right? Okay, you have a triangle over here, right? This triangle, the sides are A, B, C, right? The sides are how much? A is K, right? The opposite of A is K, right? The opposite of B is 1.5K. The opposite of C is 2.25K, right? So what is the sum of the squares of its median, right? Let's say the first median is over here BE, right? I'm saying BE is one of the medians, okay? Then the next median over here is CF, okay? Next median is CF, right? And then next median over here I'm saying is AD, okay? AD. So now they are asking what is AD square, right? AD square plus BE square plus CF square is equal to what they are saying, okay? AB square plus BE square plus CF square is equal to what they are asking, right? Okay. So for this type of question, when they are asking about the intersection of median, okay, whenever you see there is an intersection of median, okay, you see that there is an intersection of median at the green point over here, right? We pull in something called Apollonius theorem, okay? We pull in something called Apollonius theorem, okay? So Apollonius theorem says that if AD is your median, right? Okay, if I'm saying that over here AD is your median, right? Okay, if AD is the median, then the sum of these two sides, sum of the flanked side, okay, AB square, right? AB square plus AC square is equal to 2 times this particular value, right? 2 times BD square plus, okay, 2 times BD square plus median square is what they are saying, okay, right? Okay, in short, if you solve for this, what exactly it means is that median of A, right? Median of A square is equal to 2 times of B square plus 2 times of C square minus A square by 4, okay? This is what it means, right? Okay, you can prove this by yourself as well, okay, right? You can prove this. I'm writing the Apollonius theorem says if AD is median, then AB square plus AC square is equal to 2 times of BD square plus AD square is what you have, okay, right? So from this you can prove this as well, okay, right? Do you want the proof as well? Write down in the chat if you want the proof, right? If you don't write it in the chat, and how will I know that you want or don't want, okay, right? If you prove it, it will be AB square plus AC square, right, is equal to 2 times of BD square plus AD square as well, right? Okay, right? So how it works out, okay, let me tell you. Just for this particular stuff I'll tell you, right? Okay, so AB square plus AC square, right? Okay, is equal to 2 times of BD square plus 2 times of AD square, right? Okay, right? So now we can write it as AB square plus AC square minus 2 times of BD square is equal to 2 times of AD square, right? Okay, now what I will do, I don't have much of a space over here, so I will just write above, right? Now you know what is the value of BD, right? You know the value of BD, right? Okay, so the whole point is that we have to now substitute for BD, okay? So AB square plus AC square minus BD value is how much? Since AD is the median, BD will be equal to DC, or otherwise BD is equal to, right, 2 times of BD is equal to half of how much? BC whole square, right? Okay, now these two I'm taking in the denominator is equal to 2, which is equal to AD square over here, right? Is that what we have? Right? So now if you solve for this, what happens? Okay, if you solve for this, you will be getting over here 2 into 1 by 4 into BC square, right? So this one gone 2 times, right? Okay, so now if you solve for this, you will be getting AD square is equal to 2 times of AB square plus AC square minus BC square divided by 4, right? Is it the same over here that I have written? is it the same stuff that I have written over here, right? Okay, median A, right? Median A, which is AD square, is equal to 2 times of AB square plus AC square, right? Okay, AB square plus AC square minus BC square divided by 4, right? Isn't it? So this is the proof over here, folks. Okay, for your Apollonius theorem. Okay, you did not ask for it, but I still gave it to you, right? Okay, so median A is this particular value, right? Okay, so now I'll delete this as well. Okay, and similarly, can you say median of B square is equal to how much? Okay, median of B whole square will be equal to 2 times of A square plus 2 times of C square minus B square by 4, right? And median of C square will be how much? Okay, 2 times of A square plus 2 times of B square minus C square by 4, right? Okay, is it the stuff that you have to find out? AD square, BE square, CF square, right? Basically you have to do what? Okay, you have to add all of these three equations, right? Equation 1, equation 2, equation 3 over here, right? Isn't it? Equation 1, 2, 3 is what you have to add, right? So which means if you add this, what you will get? Median of A whole square, median of B whole square, median of C whole square is equal to, right? Is equal to, how much do you get? Okay, you add this particular value, 2B square, okay, where and all you have B square, plus B square, that means 4B square, right? Minus B square, right? Okay, which means how much? 3B square, right? Okay, 3 times B square. So let's just write down 3 times B square, right? How about C square? 2C square, right? 2 to 4C square minus 1, okay, right? Which means minus 3C square, sorry, plus 3C square, plus over here 2A square, 2A square, 4A square, plus minus A square, right? Okay, which means 3 times of A square, right? And now over here, right, it will be what? Divided by 4, isn't it? This particular stuff will be divided by 4, right? Because 4 is there over here, right? Now what we can do? We can delete this one to make some space, right? And this particular stuff also I can write it like, this as well, okay, right? I can say that 3 is common, isn't it? I can say 3 common, right? Now what is A square plus B square plus C square over here, right? Okay, A square plus B square plus C square. A square is this particular value, right? Isn't it? So now this thing can be written as 3 by 4 into A square. A square is how much? K square plus 3 by 5, 3 by 2 k square, right? 1.5 I can write 3 by 2, isn't it? 1.5 I can write 1.5 divided by 10, 3 by 2, right? Which means how much? 9k square by 4 plus 225 by, right, 2.25. We can write it as like this, which is 4, and over here how much? Which is 9, okay? So which means 81 by 16 k square, right? Okay, now these are all your rough figures, right? These are all your rough numbers. A few questions are there which will disturb you, obviously, yes, okay? So this is one such question over here, right? Now you have to solve for this, okay? You have to solve for this. If you solve for this, you will be getting equal to 3 by 4. I'm writing this thing as, okay, 16k square by 16 plus, okay, over here 36k square by 16. Why am I writing? Because it will be easy for me to calculate it, okay? It will be easy for me to calculate it, right? Isn't it? Right? So now over here we get done with this, okay, right? And now you add this one. This is 81, and this is your 36, right? 36 plus 16 is how much? 52. 52 plus 81, 52 plus 81 is 3, 133, right? Okay, so which means 3 by 4 into 133 by 16 k square, right? Okay, so now if you solve for this, you will be getting 399 by 64 k square, folks. Okay, 399 k square by 64. You have answer D over here, right? Okay, right? Are you guys with me? Are you guys appreciating these questions? Okay, Apollonius theorem is the heart of this particular question. Okay, Apollonius theorem. Okay, you should know the theorem and you should know how exactly to apply this as well. Okay, how about this one? 75, question number 75. This is a damn easy question, isn't it? This is a damn easy question, right? Okay, now it's your choice. If you want to assume some number, you want to assume some number. Okay, you can assume some number, right? Okay, over here they are saying 2s is equal to a plus b plus c. Can I say a is equal to b is equal to c is equal to 2? It's my choice. I can assume any number, right? I can assume any given number, folks, right? Okay, so what is the value of s? Okay, what is the value of 2s, right? So 2s value is a plus b plus c. A is equal to b is equal to c is equal to 2, which means a plus b plus c is equal to 6, which implies s is equal to how much? 3, right? Now s is equal to 3. Now put this in this particular value. Okay, s into s minus a, right, into s minus b into s minus c. I cleverly picked this number 2. You could have picked any other number as well. Okay, it's your choice. You want to get into this or that. Okay, divided by, right, 1. Okay, 1 divided by s minus a, right, plus s minus b plus s minus c minus 1 by s. Okay, 1 by s is 1 by 3, folks, right? Okay, now you know these are all in multiplication. All of this will give you 1, so I can simply delete it. Okay, right, isn't it? This particular value will also 1, 1 and 1, right? Okay, so just write down 1, 1, 1. Okay, and over here this is into 3 over here, so I'll write down 3 over here, right? Okay, so 1 plus 1 plus 1. Okay, simply let's write down. Okay, if you are getting confused, this is 3 minus 1 by 3, right? If 3 minus 1 by 3 is how much? Okay, 3 minus 1 by 3 is 8 minus 8 by 3, right? This one gone, this one gone. Okay, 8 is supposed to be the answer. Okay, do you have 8 in the option? No, you don't have 8 in the option. Okay, but if you do a b c, right, if you do a into b into c, will it be 2 into 2 into 2? Will it give you 8? This number will give you 16. This number will give you 32, right? Okay, this number will give you 12. Calculate this. Put in the values of a, b, c and calculate this by yourself. Okay, and tell me what you think about it. Okay, right? So now we'll move to the next question. Question number 76, right? Question number 76 over here, folks. How much will 10,000 amount to in 1 year's time? Okay, right? How much 10,000, right, amounts to in 1 year? Okay, right? Principal they have given 10,000, right? Rate they have given 4%, right, per annum. Okay, if the interest is compounded once in every 3 months. Okay, if interest is compounded once in 3 months, okay, you have the time, total time is 1 year. So how many times it will get compounded? 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 4 times it will be compounded, isn't it? Okay, 4 times it will be compounded. So net rate will be how much? Okay, net rate is going to be how much? 1% per quarter, right? Okay, so 1% per quarter is what is the rate over here, right? And it is being compounded, right? Right, how many times? 4 times it is being compounded. So simply, right, put it in the formula p into 1 plus r by 100 raised to the power t. Over here the time period will change into the what? The time period. The time will change into what? Time period. right? Isn't it? Okay, time will change into time period over here. So now this is your 10,000 into 1.01 raised to the power 4. Okay, this is what you have to find out. 1.01 raised to the power 4 is what you have to find out. Okay, right? 1.01 raised to the power 4. So now this particular value will give you 10,000 into, now you know 101, right? 101 whole square. Now I have done this calculation by myself, right? Okay, I have done this calculation already, right? Okay, so this particular value will give you, okay, this particular value will give you, okay, 1.04060401. Okay, right? Okay, I hope you guys have calculated that. Okay, or otherwise you could have worked with the fractions as well, that's also perfectly fine. Okay, so now if you calculate this, you will be getting, right, 110,406.04, right, something like that. Okay, 0401. Okay, so over here your nearest correct answer is, right, option number A, right? So now we'll move to the next question. Next question is an easy one, absolutely easy one. Okay, P is equal to 0.09 bar. Okay, the value of P is given as 0.09 bar. Okay, so what does it mean, value of P is 0.09 bar? Okay, right, the value of P as 0.09 bar. Okay, right? Okay, so P is equal to 0.09. 0.09 bar is what we have. Okay, so which means 10p is equal to 0.99 bar, isn't it? Is that what we have, right? Okay, and another one time if we do, so which means 100p is equal to 9 point, okay, 9 point, or otherwise we can also write this as 10p is equal to 9 bar, isn't it? Right, isn't it? Because 0.99 bar. Okay, so now this thing can be written as 9.9 bar. Okay, now if I am saying this one as equation 1, this one as equation 2, so if we do 2 minus 1 over here, how much does it look like? Okay, 2 minus 1, if we do 100p minus 10p is equal to 9.9 bar minus 0.9 bar over here, right? Okay, which means 90p is equal to how much? 9, which means p is equal to 1 by 10, right? Okay, p is equal to 1 by 10, right? And now they are asking what is the value of this particular expression that they have given. Okay, now we know the value of p is equal to 1 by 10, right? So now we'll put in the value over here, p is equal to 1 by 10, right? Okay, if p is equal to 1 by 10, which means 70 into 1 by 10 into 1 by 10, this is the value of p square, right, plus 43 divided by 10 minus 5, right, isn't it? So this value, so this value over here is how much? This is gone, this is gone, right? So which is 7 by, now this particular value is 7 by 10, which means 0.7 plus 4.3 minus 5, right? So this is how much? If you add these two, you will get 5 minus 5 is equal to 0. Question number 77, answer will be B, folks. Okay, right? Okay, now question number 78, right? What is the remainder when 2 raised to the power 101 is divided by 101? Okay, right? Okay, what is the remainder? What is the remainder when 2 raised to the power 101 is divided by 101? They are asking. Okay, right? So over here we have something called, right, we have something called Fermat's little theorem. Okay, Fermat's little theorem. Okay, Fermat's little theorem we have. Okay, So what does it say, right? What does it say? For a raised to the power p, okay, for a raised to the power p, right, okay, where p is a prime number and a is a natural number, right, a is a natural number not divisible by p, right, then okay, the then the remainder of a raised to the power p minus 1 is given as 1. Okay, the remainder of a raised to the power p minus 1 is 1. Okay, so one thing we know, 101 is the prime number, okay, right, and 101 does not divide 2. So what does it mean? It means that the remainder for 2 raised to the power p minus 1, right, by p by a, right, okay, the remainder for p minus 1, okay, the remainder a raised to the power p minus 1 when it is divided by 101, right, over here will be how much? 1. Okay, so now let's look at this carefully. This particular value is the remainder of what? 2 raised to the power 101 minus 1, or otherwise 2 raised to the power 100 only, right? For this the remainder is 1, and now you have another remainder which is 2, right? Then only no, the basically we have to find out like this, right? But we said that the remainder for this is 1. Okay, then what is the remainder for 2 raised to the power 1, right? The remainder for this is 2, right? And now if you multiply these two, you get 2 as an answer. So it is over here 78. B is the correct answer over here, folks. Okay, so the remainder, I will tell you this question again, okay, right? So what we are applying over here is called Fermat's, right, Fermat's little theorem, okay, right, Fermat's little theorem is what we are applying. It says that okay, it says that for a raised to the power p, right, a raised to the power p, wherein p is a prime number, right, and a is a natural number, such that p does not divide a, right, then the remainder of a raised to the power p minus 1 when it is divided by p is 1. Okay, this is what they are saying. Okay, so you know for 2 raised to the power 101, okay, so 101 is a prime number and 101 does not divide this number 2 as well, right? So what does it mean? Okay, so 2 raised to the power 101 minus 1, okay, into 2, I'm writing that in separately, right? Okay, I'll come back to this particular value, right? So 2 raised to the power 101, I'm just putting it over here in this particular format, right? 2 raised to the power 101 minus 1 divided by 101. Okay, so for this your remainder will be 1. Okay, and for this in yellow the another remainder will be 2, right? So entire remainder will be how much? 1 into 2, which means 2 is the answer over here, folks, right? Not 1, right? So we'll move to the next question, right? Next question says second last question, p is not equal to 0, right, and q is not equal to 0 are the roots, okay, right? P and q are the roots, okay, p and q are the roots of the equation x square plus px plus q, right? Okay, x square plus q px plus q, right? X square plus px plus q is equal to 0 if p and q are the roots of the equation, right? If these are the roots, so can I simply substitute x is equal to p? That means p square plus q is equal to 0, right? I'm substituting x is equal to p, right? Isn't it? I'm substituting x is equal to p. Why? Because they are saying that p is one of the roots, right? Okay, so which means 2 times of p square plus q is equal to 0, right? Isn't it? Now from here if P and Q are your roots, okay, so can I say sum of the roots P plus Q, sum of the roots is minus B by A, right? Sum of the roots is minus P. So what does it mean? It means 2P is equal to Q, right? Isn't it? 2P is equal to Q, right? Or otherwise you can write 2P minus Q is equal to 0, right? And if P and Q are there, we can also say the product of the roots PQ is C by A. What is C by A? Which means Q by 1, right? Product of the roots PQ is how much? C by A. C over here is Q, right? So Q by 1, Q and Q gone, which means P value is 1, okay? What they are saying? P is not equal to 0, Q is not equal to 0, okay? So if P value is 1, right? If P value is 1, then automatically from here Q value will be how much? 2, right? Isn't it? Okay. If P value is 1, okay, 2P is equal to minus Q, right? Okay, so Q is equal to minus 2 is what will come over here, right? Okay, Q value will be equal to minus 2, right? Then they are asking what is the value of P square plus Q square? P value is 1, okay, does not matter, plus 2 or minus 2, right? P square is 1, Q square is minus 2 whole square is 4. So 1 plus 4 is how much? 5 over here, folks, right? Okay, now let's get going over here with the last question for the day, folks. Okay, the equation x square plus px plus q is equal to 0 and x square plus qx plus p is equal to 0, where p and q are not equal, have a common root, then what is the value of p plus q is what they are asking. Okay, what is the value of p plus q is what they are asking. Okay, right? So can I say alpha is the common root? They are saying have a common root. Can I say alpha is the common root? Okay, alpha is a common root. These questions are like, these questions are repeated thousands of times, okay, in your previous years, right? So if alpha is the common root, so can we say if I put alpha in this particular equation, it becomes alpha square, okay, alpha square plus p alpha plus q is equal to 0, right? And if I put alpha is equal to x in this particular equation, it becomes alpha square plus q alpha plus p is equal to 0, right? So now over here this is also equal to 0, this is also equal to 0. So can we equate that? We are equating that. Alpha square plus p alpha plus q is equal to alpha square plus q alpha plus p, right? Okay, now over here alpha square gone on to a toss, okay, right? So we can simply write it like this, okay, right? Now you see over here you have p alpha and q alpha, right? So can I take p alpha and over here q alpha? Now p, can I take q over here on this side? So p minus q, alpha is equal to p minus q over here, p minus q, right? Okay, so this p minus q gone on to a toss, right? So what does it mean? So it means that alpha is equal to 1, okay. If alpha is equal to 1, right, if alpha is equal to 1, can we just put over here alpha in this particular value? If you put alpha is equal to 1, you will get alpha square is equal to 1. P alpha means how much? P plus q is equal to 0. What they have asked? They have asked what is the value of p plus q, right? From here, can you say p plus q is equal to minus 1? So 80 answer will be A over here, folks, right? Okay, so thank you so much all of you for joining with this in 3 series. Series A we completed question number 1 to question number 20. In series B we completed question number 21 till question number 40. In series C we did question number 41 to question number 60, and today's series series D we did question number 61 to question number 80, and very soon we will be meeting with next series E, wherein we will be doing question number 81 till question number 100 as well. Okay, so thank you so much, folks, all those of you who tuned in, and I'll see you guys in the next class. we have a little bit of from we have statistics and stuffs. Okay, so these also are extremely important. Okay, you get damn sure 10-12 questions from that. Okay, so in the next class we will be studying from question number 81 to 100, and we'll finish off 2025 one mathematics paper, folks. Okay, right, all 100 out of 100 questions. Okay, right. So thank you so much, folks, all of you, for joining. Bye bye, good night, and Jai Hind.